Welcome back to Part-Time Marathoner, you guys. I'm really excited for this video. We're going to talk about the Teton Dam Marathon, which I ran 2 days ago, and it went great. I'm really happy with my performance. Here are the official results. So I ran it in 2 hours, 32 minutes, and 49 seconds, which was spot on the pace that I wanted. So I had been shooting for a 5:50 average pace, and if you've been watching these videos, you'll remember that that was the pace that I kept referring to as my goal marathon pace. So I'll also spend some time in this video talking about how well my training prepared me for this race and some things that I want to change as I start training for my marathon later this year. So I admit that I'm a bit of a data and numbers guy, so the approach that I take to my race analysis is probably overly analytical. Definitely don't have to do it this way, but I just kind of like the story that numbers can tell. So here are my splits for the race. And something that marathoners will often do is they take their marathon, they split it into 2 halves, and what they're hoping to see is a faster second half of the race when compared to the first half. And as you can see, that probably wasn't the case for me. I actually ran the first half of the race in 1 hour and 14 minutes, 36 seconds, and then the second half was 1 hour and 18 minutes and 13 seconds. I'm actually really excited about that because even the second half of the race was faster than my PR last year. That would have been about on pace for a 2 hour and 36 minute marathon. But the first half of the race was a sub 2:30 pace, which I'm actually really excited about. And it just makes me excited about the marathon that I'll run later this year. And I'm really hoping to break 2:30. So I think there were a couple of reasons why my second half was slower than the first. I think the first obvious reason is the course. You can kind of see the elevation profile here, and it shows that you lose about 300 or 400 feet in the first half of the race, and then it's kind of flat with some little uphills during the latter half of the race. So it just makes the first half faster when you're just flying downhill. But the second reason was because I haven't really trained with high altitude in mind, so I'm really excited to do more long runs and some kind of higher intensity tempo sessions that put more stress on my heart and lungs, because I think that will really help me to adapt to lower oxygen environments, continue working hard. I noticed during the race that even the little uphills left me completely gassed, and I was gasping for air just a little bit more than I was expecting. And this might be kind of a unique situation to this year because both of my races happen to be about double the altitude of where I'm training, where I'm living, and I might change that next year. You're probably thinking, well, why don't you, just do a race, at sea level? That might set me up for a better time. And where's the fun in that? But no, just kidding. I think I probably will do a marathon or 2 next year at sea level, just to give myself the best chance of a faster time. So, what's a marathon without a silly mistake? So let me tell you about the mistake that I made for this race. So I only had spent 2 miles on my race shoes before actually racing in them. So the day before the race, I did an easy 2-mile jog in my race shoes, and that was all the time I spent in those shoes, which isn't a great idea. It didn't really give myself the chance to feel any discomfort or rubbing in the shoes. And sure enough, in the race, I actually had to stop a couple of times because there was this discomfort that kept feeling like a rock in my shoe. And in my mind, that made sense because I was on the gravel part of the course. But it ended up just being this little part where maybe adhesive wasn't applied correctly next to a lace hole. And it was almost hard to see that bump. But over 26 miles, I guess it's, even a little piece of discomfort can get bigger. So I've already mentioned this a little bit, but I think the most fascinating part of this race was the fact that my legs felt like they were in better shape than my heart and lungs. So if you look at miles 20 through 25, I make a conscious effort to slow things down because my heart just felt like it was ready to burst. I mentioned that even the little uphills felt like a lot more work than they needed to. So I made sure to slow it down just because I wanted to finish at a more or less consistent pace. And I think it was really valuable for me to have this experience of not being fully acclimated to my race elevation and then just seeing kind of how that affected my performance. I'm still really happy with my performance, but according to my watch, I was only 20% acclimated to 5,000 feet, up from 2,500 feet where I usually live. But ultimately, the result of this race was exactly what I was hoping for. So I was shooting for a 5:50 pace, and that's what I got. A huge thank you to everybody who made this event so incredible. It's just amazing to see the enthusiasm from everybody in the community. Jacob Linford, the race director, got up at 3 a.m. to drive the course, make sure that it was all good to go. Just so much work goes into these things, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it. It was just a perfect day to race too. There was a cloud cover, it was cool. The field was more competitive than I've ever seen it. And it was just so much fun. And a big thank you to you for watching as well. Just encourage you to like and subscribe. We're just getting started here. I'm just about to start another training block for the Top of Utah Marathon, which takes place in September. It'll be in Logan, Utah. And so whether you're interested in marathoning, you're an experienced athlete, or you're just interested, hop on. I'd love to show you my journey. So to round off this video, I just want to give you one more reason why this race is so awesome. So I've run it a couple of times, 2018, 2019, and this year, and I happened to win all 3 of those times. And the perks for doing well, not just winning, but being on the podium for any of these events is kind of crazy. So the first year, I won a Garmin Forerunner 235. It looks like this one. I have it somewhere around the house, but I couldn't find it. 2019, I won these sunglasses that I wear almost every single sunny run. These are Oakley sunglasses, and they're awesome. They work great. They keep the sweat out of my eyes. And in that same year, I won this GoPro, which I use often, not just for running. Used it for biking and some other things as well. And this year, got a whole bunch of stuff. So I have a $200 gift card, which is actually a big deal. Helps subsidize my high rate of running shoe consumption. Massage gun that I used yesterday. Probably going to use it again today. Foam roller. And this one's a little bit different. It has like bigger mountains and valleys than my other one. So I think it'll be more effective, or just kind of pinpoint specific muscles more. This stretching strap, which might not seem like a big deal, but I always have to have my wife help me stretch my hamstrings, and so this allows me to do it on my own. It's pretty awesome. And then a couple of other things too, related to the foam roller. So this, I've always wanted to get one of these, just because they get more specific muscle groups than the foam roller will. This is designed specifically for your spine, I think, but I'm going to use it also for my shins, because I've mentioned in a few of my videos I always get shin splints. And then this one I get a kick out of because I've seen these around. These are for rubbing your feet out, and I've always just used a tennis ball or a baseball, but now I have a specific one. So yeah, pretty cool. So I encourage you to sign up to do well, to train hard, get out there and enjoy nature. I also will mention that if you have the record in any of the race events for the Teton Dam Marathon, you do get in for free. So the return on investment starts looking pretty good. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. It's just been such a fun year of training, and stay on board for some awesome things to come. I'm really excited for how things go for this next training block.
Wait, no, stay there.
Got really hit it?
Wait